Okay, I'll have it on our YouTube channel where we have other training videos that I actually went back on and was like, well, there's some pretty cool ones on there. So we could go back on those sometimes too. But anyway, thanks you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I have been working with some people very closely, and I was working with Faith, and we were kind of just really going through a lot of basics. And I was like, I really should be doing this with everybody because we were getting somewhere with it and it was fun. So that's what I want to bring to you guys tonight. You can feel free to share this with any new brand partners that you get. My goal tonight is to really just share the basics of what we're doing as far as the IPAs or income producing activities in order to make sure that we are using our time productively, that we're not getting caught in some ruts of unproductive work and things like that. So if you have a pen and paper or something that that you can write on, that would be awesome. I have some questions that I'm gonna pose to you tonight, and utilize the answers that you come up with for some productive work. So, but the first thing I want to cover before I go into those is one of the things that we talk about a lot, we think about with this is the time that it takes to do this business. And sometimes we end up getting stuck. And so I want to just address the mindset side of that to see if that helps you kind of just get out of a little rut, because sometimes we're just in a rut, and I feel that and I know that, and I've been there so many times. And so I think that it's always good to have a reminder. One of the things that I think we need to address is, sometimes we might do it ourselves, or we might have new people coming in who want to do this, but they don't know how much time, but they say, I don't have enough time to do it. And so I want to first talk about how much time does this take? Because what I'm going to give you tonight, I worked to simplify things so that we can really take an honest look at how much time it does take. Because so many of the times where we say, or somebody says, I don't have time to do that, we've never really actually had a number of how long or how many hours it does take. So when we're saying that, it's just more of a mindset issue than a time issue, because we don't really have that. How many hours does it take? If somebody said it takes 5 hours a week, and we were like, okay, well, I don't have 5 hours a week or whatever, that's legit. But if we say I don't have time, and then I ask somebody how much time do you have, or how much time do you think it would take, they're like, I don't really know. And so it's more of a mindset thing, and that's what stuck is. Sometimes I know that just feeling stuck can be like a safe response in our brain. It's kind of like us wanting to just stay safe. And so instead of figuring out what we need to do, our brain tells us that we're stuck. And so that way we can just stay where we're at. So hopefully the questions that I have for you tonight will help you just really get clarity on what you do with this and how much time it takes. Because to know how much time it takes, we actually have to know what we need to be doing in a way that gets results. So we're going to talk about IPAs. I'll use that term a lot. You've probably heard of it a ton. But when I'm using that term, it's because these are things that will actually produce results, income producing activities. So they actually produce things that will grow your business and in such grow your income. So these are productive time things. They're not some of the things that pretty much all of us, I think, fall victim to, like mindless scrolling and disciplining ourselves and utilizing those pockets of time. So I'm going to give you a couple of questions, and you might want to just write down the questions for now and then take some time to really dig into the answers of them. But I will say that I want you to try not to overcomplicate it in your brain either. So the first question is, do you have ways to continuously expand your market? Do you have ways, I should say that you are continuously expanding your market. We all have ways that we can do it. We all have equal access to ways that we can expand your market. So the question is more, are you using those ways? Are you using ways to continuously expand your market? And so for instance, on these, because we have to, this is a network marketing business. So we need to be have exposure to new people all of the time. At first, some people might grow really fast because they utilize the people that they know, and then they're not bringing in new people. And so then it kind of stalls out. And that's when people might be like, I'm stuck or whatever. So we need to have ways that we're continuously growing our market. So I want you to look at how you're utilizing that. Now, for some people, that might be having public social media, where, and I will say that when I say that, I don't mean like start a Facebook group. Everybody starts a Facebook group, and that rarely ever works. And so just think about how you're open to the public. Is your store open to the public? And is your store getting new customers in at all times? So this could be a public social media. This could be classes. Now, people are, I think it's like 3 times more likely or twice as likely, I can't remember what the numbers are, to take the plunge, make a purchase at an in-person event than online. So when I'm listing these out, I would encourage you to pick a few of them and not just stick to one. That could be asking others to host classes that you teach. That's going to keep your store open, keep you open to new people. Extracurricular activities. Are you active in your community, community groups, and things like that too? So take some time to look at how you're opening your network to new people at all times, how new people can come to you, and then we'll talk about how you'll draw them in. So maybe pick 2 of those, at least 2 that you need to work on or are having running really well at all times. The next question is, how consistently are you adding value in your public areas of growing your network? So these 2 that we talked about, we need to look at how consistent you are in adding value. So I think we have an old YouTube video on adding value. But, we talk about that a lot, and that's just really giving something to people that they might not find somewhere else in their network, or their community groups or something like that. And a part of that is really just being uniquely you, and how different you are and how set apart you are, and things like that. So for instance, consistency in adding value to these public areas of your network. That would be at least 2 classes a month as far as in-person stuff goes. Social media posts, that would be daily, obviously not network marketing topics daily, dispersing it with who you are and what makes you different and special and all of that good stuff, and your unique self. And then your in-person community groups. This one is for consistency. The way that I look at that is having things on hand that you can give to people. So when you're sitting there at some kind of get together, or mom's group or dog park or whatever it might be, that you have something in a pinch that's going to be applicable to that situation that you can hand somebody as the topic comes up. I created Oily Friends brochures a long time ago I put them in Faithful Growers. You can print those off. I always keep those with me because it says, why Young Living, and why our team. Because so many times people are like, I'll just go buy, you talk to them about lavender and they're like, I'm just going to go buy that from Amazon or Walmart. Or, I have a sister who does Young Living, how they all say that. And so I created that brochure to have on hand so that we can always answer those questions right there. And we've got it for people and stuff like that. So just having things on hand, every vehicle I own, all these things, I have things on hand that I can just easily hand out. And so that's another way to grow that. And just really being interested in people in those different network situations, whether it's in person or on social media, just really being interested in people. And then one other thing that I wanted to, and one other tip Having samples, yes, very much so. Awesome, Michaela. I'm glad to hear you using those. Yeah, I'm gonna actually, I need to get my printer going, but I can create big sets of those that people can just order from me, and we can get those out for just my cost. Having samples is absolutely not cheesy. We are doing it all the time. We're working with Faith right now to get some going. Since the beginning, since I did this, since since I started this, I've always had like DiGi, sample of DiGis, and like Deep Relief, and those kinds of things always, always, always in my purse. Because those are the things that, in a pinch, somebody's gonna need it, and they're gonna see the power of it right away in that first use. So absolutely, we used to do these things called purple bags, where it would have like a couple of samples and some information and stuff. Always good to have on hand. One thing, one other little tip I wanted to give you that I've been playing around with, and maybe you've already discovered this, is on social media, commenting on viral posts in a way that attract like-minded people. So this is kind of weird, and I've just been playing around with it, and it actually got me a ton of new followers, and so it's growing my network. But like, there's this, not just, I'm gonna be real with y'all. There's this guy who's a UPS driver, and he dances, and he just, in the middle of his shift, right? And he's just gone viral. And so I posted something about like, it was an 80s song, and I was like, yes, like mom growing up in the 80s, teaching her kids the 80s songs, keep these kind of songs coming. And all these women who are the same age as me, about the same age, and love the 80s music and stuff too, started following me on Instagram. So if you're doing scrolling, find one post like that a day, or something that you can just pop up with your unique self, and find other people that are like you. And don't be afraid to just like be who you are, because that's how you're going to find your people too. So just thought I'd throw that in there, because I've been having some fun with that, and definitely meeting new people that way. The third one is, now this is for those who really tend to fall into the mindset of like, I don't have enough time, or just really wanting to just calculate that out. How much time will each of these take you a week? So I kind of just ran some numbers real quick, like 10 to 20 minutes a day for a social media post, 30 to 60 minutes a week for class prep. I mean, I sat down and just like used Canva templates today, and I created, or was it yesterday? And I created like an 18 thing PowerPoint presentation for our Why Young Living class on Monday or Tuesday night, in like 45 minutes at the most. And then I just do the work to make sure that I'm inviting people to it. And most of the time, I don't recommend doing PowerPoints. We have a lot of that stuff on there. I don't have one for tonight. Sometimes I think that holds people up. And so just know that you don't have to do that. And so sometimes that might just be like spending time on the invites, sending people personal messages, doing educational posts. So like what I've been training Faith on lately is take what you're doing for your class and find, 5, 6 different ways to market that class. So you're going to put the information in different formats. You're going to put it out there like, do you want to know how to this, and this, and this? And then another post might be like, do you struggle with this, and this, and this, or something? And so you're getting the information out for the class, but in different ways. And those different ways are going to grab different people. So that's just a few minutes there, preparing samples or things that you might be doing for the class. So if you're looking at that 30 to 60 minutes a week, you've got the 10 to 20 minutes a day for a post. So, and maybe that's just like the total of an hour and a half a week. So, we're at 2.5 hours a week. And there you go. You're getting ready for a class. You're posting every day. So Obviously, if you're going to do things like, go into your desk reference and research something, or go into the Life Steps app and grab some graphics, you're going to add a few minutes a day onto that kind of stuff. Michaela just made a presentation on Google Slides for the new Make a Shift kits. Oh my gosh, if anybody would like to use that, use my lunch breaks at work to finish it. Yes. I love you, Michaela. Lauren, would it be reasonable to expect these time estimates to be more on the front end, just getting started, as opposed to when you are established? Yeah, because when you're established, you're going to have customers that you're going to need to follow up with. And, they might be asking questions and stuff like that. So it's reasonable to go there. But I will say, even where I'm at with a team of, it's been close to 10,000 people, as you grow, people are taking care of their people and stuff too. So I will say that it doesn't change significantly. I do things that some leaders don't, because I want to keep pumping out resources for you guys. But we have that now. We have Life Steps app, and so honestly, at any point in this journey, a few hours a week is perfectly reasonable to keep things going and stuff. So if you want, number 3, calculate the time, and then look at your schedule. Like Michaela's popping it in her lunch break here, and she's, popping it in there and stuff like that. So maybe look at your schedule and be like, I have 30 minutes here. I have 15 minutes here. I have 15 minutes there. And I think once you do that just once, and you designate those times, if your schedule's pretty consistent like that with work or something else, it's going to get easier and easier to just jump in those pockets and see that, hey, I do have time. And it turns out I actually still have time to do some, other stuff that's important. So we don't want to get rid of the things that are important for your self-care and keeping you afloat. So the fourth question is, or the fourth task actually, is I want you to think about something that stood out to me. If it feels complicated to you, then it's complicated to your audience. And so with that, I think that it's important to simplify. The cool thing about Young Living is we have 200, 300, I think we end up, I can't remember how many SKUs did they say we have, item numbers, like 600 and some. That's amazing. But it also can be overwhelming to people. So what I like to do when I'm working with somebody is think about the top 5 products in your own life that you can really get behind, that you can talk about for an hour without any books or papers or notes or anything like that. Pick, 3, it can be 3 to 5 products that you are gung-ho on from Young Living, and that you truly have a strong belief in, that other people really do need, and that if with the core of your being that it will benefit them in their life. If you don't even have 3 at this point in the journey, your main income producing activity at this point is to just get some experience with the products. Start using them, researching them, figuring out what they're for, and just put them into consistent use in your daily life and start there. But if you've done that already, pick 3 to 5 of your top products, whether it's for for a specific health thing, like this is my health thing and this is what's helped me, and this is the hill that I'm willing to die on, because people need this and this changed my life. And then, or maybe it's just like, targeted areas that that your audience needs, because your audience is different than my audience. So like, for instance, my audience, they've already changed their home and body care products for the most part. It might not be the best that it could be, but they've already changed it. They're not using candles and stuff like that. Your market, your audience, they might still be using candles and stuff. So just kind of look at what top 5 products you could really get behind. And I promise you, you can spend a month on those solid, 2 months, 3 months, just in different ways. Like we talked about how when you're sharing about a class, you're going to pose it, 3, 4, 5 different ways. You're going to do the same with the products. And the cool thing about doing it that way is when you do that over an extended period of time and you just keep at it, but you're not sharing the same graphic, the same picture, the same 3 lines of text, you're sharing it in different ways, then after a while, people are like, okay, that's it. I need this now. And so instead of like putting about this product and 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 this product, and then you're just always changing it, people are like, it just went by too fast. They don't have time to make a decision on it. But when you're pumping out the same 3 to 5 products for a month at a time. So for instance, let me just give you for instance, y'all know I'm going to pick Mineral Essence. I would die on that hill. I could talk about that in like 30 different ways. I could, first of all, I'm going to share about symptoms of magnesium deficiency. And I'm going to talk about why a lot of magnesiums are junk and they don't get absorbed in the body. And then I'm going to talk about that things deplete magnesium and why people are so low in it. And I'm going to, and I'm just going to keep going on this. And then I'm going to talk about other magnesium options and I'm just going to keep going. And then I'm going to spend a couple of posts on Mineral Essence, where the minerals come from, why it's better, why it's absorbed better, all of this kind of stuff. And I'm going to have a month on it. And I've done that before. And a lot of people, maybe some of you in here, actually joined Young Living with me because I did a magnesium challenge. And so we covered it for months. And that's just one product. So simplify it. Just take some time to pick like 3 to 5 products and look at all of the different angles that you can come at that topic, because that information, that education is going to go back to what we said earlier. It's going to add value to people's lives. And obviously, like I said, as far as social media posts go, we're going to balance it with other parts of our authentic life. Because as much as every single person needs more magnesium, in my opinion, nowadays, I'm still not going to blast it every single day. So I'm going to give people a break because they need time to take in the information. So let's see here. Stay solid on a few products, at least for a month. You can even, create your wish lists now that Young Living has those wish list features. So I have tons of different wish lists that I share links to with people, because it feels overwhelming to some of them sometimes. And so I'll have I have like a stressed out wish list, and that's got Mineral Essence and Super Bee, and Cortistop, which are like 3 products I talk about all the time. So you can create wish lists based on your topic that you're talking about too. So that way you have that easy custom link that goes back to you, your member number. And it's already set up for them. They can add products, they can take products off, and it's just really easy for them. Let's see here. So yeah, like we were talking about too, there are some other, little tasks that you're going to look at that, add on some extra time. For instance, sending new customers a welcome gift. This is so valuable. I didn't know that in the beginning when I first started, and I lost some people because of it, and some people I didn't. God took care of that. And he made up for my lack of knowledge. And, this is our own business. We each own our own business in this. So we all get to learn and stuff on our own time and see what works for us. But I do see a lot of value in making sure that we're sending our new personally enrolled customers something in the mail, something with education. I always include an Oily Friends or a couple Oily Friends brochures so that they can hand them out as well. And I like to have some sort of reference material that they can learn, like the basics of essential oils and things like that. Some of them I get from Oil Supply Store. And then just making sure that, you're taking the time to get them plugged into the resources like our groups and things like that, and the app, the Life Steps app and things like that. And then following up with them, are there any oils that they got in their kit they don't know how to use or anything like that. So, let's just say 3 hours as you're starting out, 3 hours a week. Is that doable? Is 4 hours a week doable? Can you take and use, an hour here and then a few 30-minute spots throughout the week and stuff? Great question. What would be a good cost range for welcome gifts? So I don't have my book in here with me, but when I get a new customer, I have a book that I write them all in, keep track of them all. As soon as I do, I automatically send them an email. I have an email, just standard form. And I think I put it in Oily Friends or in Faithful Growers too. But it might need some updating, but it's basically what's in the welcome post in Oily Friends. And then a little bit more. And so just automatically send that off. And then I write down their PV because I base their welcome kit on their PV. If they have 25 PV for their first order, and my income or my bonus from that is going to be 50% of that, I might just make it a smaller package because otherwise, I put a lot of money back into my business, but it's reasonable to base your welcome package on their order. So if it's 100 PV in order, I have something totally separate for them. If they're a brand partner, if they sign up as a brand partner, I utilize a basics of brand partner book. I think that's also from oilsupply.store.com. I send them one of those. So basically I just base it off of what their PV is. If it's 50 PV or less, I maybe just send a postcard. And if it's 50 to 100, things like that. So it's usually 100 PV if you're sharing it. Did you hear this whiner? It's time to eat. But anyway, so it's, it varies, I guess, but even for the 100 PV and up ones, usually $10. So, for new members that were placed on your team, send email. Yeah. So the orphans, that just get assigned to you from Young Living are honestly, in my experience, they're orphans for a reason, right, Missy? Yep, she knows. Michaela too. They don't want people contacting them. Not that I still will. And I did have one or two over the years who actually, after a couple years, started, they were ordering and they finally started, oh, hey, now I'll send you that friend request on Facebook and you can add me to the group. And now, so, never give up on them. But and if they don't say anything, then there's nothing for me to say, oh, I shouldn't contact you. But I just, keep sending them postcards, keep inviting them to classes, and hopefully they see the value in that. There's some pretty strong, biases out there with people, and sometimes the orphans are orphans of their own will and choice for a reason. So, yeah. So, I usually can't add them to a group unless they accept my friend request or whatever. I send them an email with my Facebook link and say, send me or click on the link to accept my friend or whatever, and then I'll get you in the groups. And usually they don't, but that's okay. So that was a good question. So one thing I wanted to add to this is I can't make any promises when it's going to be done, but I'm working so hard on a program. It's a 20-minute a day business. And it literally is just like an app, or you can use it on a desktop and you can just go through it every day. And it tells you one 20-minute task every single day, 5 days of the week. And then one of the days there's a 20-minute mindset video. So we work on the mindset as well as just the straight up tasks. Not that you guys need that, and not that, I needed that when I first started, or now. But for those who might see that as beneficial, I am working on that. It's going to be free for our team. I'm going to make it available for others, but they got to pay for it. And so I will keep you guys posted on that. In the meantime, we have, we're designing our upcoming Oily Friends educational Zooms for everybody. And the one that I am doing on Tuesday, I am hitting it all the way home with why Young Living, why not buy your supplements and oils from Amazon, and just really going into solid hits on why people just need to just stop trying to get it from everywhere else and just do the thing, because it's going to be worth it for them. So get your people to that too. That can take half an hour in the next couple days, making sure you send the links out to people and stuff like that. Yes, I agree, Michaela. It feels spammy when people just add me to their groups. I agree. I agree. Yes. So I'm with you on that. Uh, yes. I'm going to be covering that too, Lauren. The companies that claim to be the same quality as Young Living, but are half the price. I am going to be covering that. We're going to talk about what the price tells us. We're going to be talking about how expensive the testing is, and things like that. And how, yeah, I had some really good conversations with our head science guy at Young Living, and I'm putting some of that into the presentation and stuff like that too. So, always decline the party invites. Right. Yeah. It's got to be a bit more personal. So when you're inviting people to the class on Tuesday, you can put it out there that, we're doing this together, and we just really want to get the information out there. So people are using things that really are benefiting their health, and they're not wasting their money on things that don't work, that might be harming them even. And then you can pull that into a personal message with people to give them the link to join. And that way, like on my Instagram, what I've found is, and what Faith started doing now too, after I started sharing this with her, is I started, offering some information and then saying like, comment this emoji if you want me to send you this information. And I've found that I'm getting way more personal conversations with people that I've never conversated with. And that might seem obvious, but I'm just seeing that there's so much more benefit in that. And so that's another way to kind of just take whatever you can do to take and utilize social media in order to get to that point of personal connection. And that's what Sherry Ross always says too about social media, is the goal of social media is that personal connection. So it's getting people in your inbox, and you getting in theirs. Yeah. So, and part of that too, for me, is that most of the conversations that take place on my social media, that where I get those messages in there, is new people. And so that's where it comes into making sure that your market is growing every week. There's new people coming in, and, where we change up the information too in different ways that we're sharing it. That sometimes we'll speak to somebody that maybe hasn't said anything before. So, so hopefully this helps you guys. Let's check back in after a few weeks. I'd like to hear how it's going for you. I'm going to be watching your social media because I'm excited to see what you think about, simplifying it, getting some targeted products that you're really focusing on for a good solid month. And then, I'd love to hear how you're making time, I should say, to squeeze in those pockets of IPAs into your life. If you wouldn't mind, post in Faithful Growers and share how you're doing that, because I know that we all learn so much from each other. And so I know that there's somebody in your situation who needs to hear how you're doing it. And so I would very much appreciate if you guys would do that and share in our group whatever you're finding to work. If you're doing a post and you want our opinion on it or something, share it in our group. If you did a post and it really rocked and stuff, share it and let us celebrate it with you. Let's just do this together. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, that's all I have for you. I'm going to stop the recording too, if I can figure out how to do that.